Hello, my friends. Hello, replay viewers. Pretty soon I'm going to need this bottle of aspirin that's propping you up for more than propping you up, I think. The last 2 days have been crazy. Crazy, and my head is just sort of spinning by it all. So, I need a little break. I finally want to get back to what I wanted to do this morning. I've been trying to do this scope since 11 o'clock this morning, and it is now 5. So that tells you where I'm at today. Oh my goodness, I just don't know what to say. Okay, so this is me, and this is where you can find me. So please follow me, give me a like, all that fun jazz. This probably won't be a super long scope because all my mother duties are going to start kicking in. But as usual, I am on Corel Painter. I've been trying to finish this saxophone for a while. Was working on it this morning, and today has been a fun technical difficulties we experienced this morning. Let me tell you, this technology is great, but only if you know how to use it. Because I did a whole background this morning for my saxophone to match the other backgrounds. And then my computer mysteriously turned off and I lost that. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that's all right. I wanted a scope because I did sort of start a scope. And I started a scope on it. And I was just going to, work on the saxophone. Okay, simple enough. I could add the background later because that's kind of boring. And the computer went off again. And I lost all the paint that I did. Hello, Judy. So then, I'm just talking about some technical difficulties I had this morning. I've been trying to work on this scope since 1 o'clock. So then what happened is, hi. So I was like, why is this computer just randomly turning off on me? I don't think anything's wrong with the computer. My husband's really good at computer stuff. There should be nothing wrong with this. And so my son happened to be home, and he comes in, and he's like, what's going on? I go, I don't know, my computer's off. I can't get no power to it. It shut off, and then it came on. And he goes to the back, 2 seconds, and he's like, your power cord was loose. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Say, really? Thank you. All right. So that's what happened to my scope this morning after I spent an hour trying to solve the problem, and it was a loose power cord. So there you go. I am using my picture of the tuba that I finished previously as a reference. This is the tuba. I also have a trumpet and a trombone, and this is the saxophone I'm working on. This is the last one. So I need to make, similar color choices. So that's why I have the tuba up here. I'm just borrowing some color tones. And I had this whole background done, and I lost that. I had half this saxophone already drawn, and I lost that. Just having a great day. I hope your day's going better. Anyway, so look at my reference picture. I'm glad. I'm telling you, today it's been interesting, to say the least. Alright. Get it again. Tuba, I don't, was it finished? I don't want that folder. I want, there we go. Oh. Do you ever have one of those days, you just, you feel like you're in quicksand and everything you try to do, it's just like, really? But I gotta get it done. Alright, So I'm using this reference for colors. And I'm finishing up this guy. Normally I would have already had the background done and I would have been painting it on top of the background, but I lost the background, so I will do that later. Later date. So we're just going to start picking out the colors, and I don't know how much you know about digital art. I never use anything on my canvas layer because I can't just delete that layer, so I always make another layer. This is the layer that has the sketch on it. If I close the eye, you'll see the sketch. Okay, and so now I'm going to color on the layer. Actually, it's under the sketch. So I'm going to draw under the sketch and outline it, and then I'll probably get rid of the sketch once I have the outline done. And then I'll work from there. Yeah, I did get this look on the tuba. Are you part of our group? I don't recognize your name, so I don't know if you're part of our little Facebook group or not. And you've seen my other stuff. I don't want to bore you with the other ones. I can show you. All right, I can show you really quick the 3 other ones in this series that I've done. So I want the finished ones. Let's show you the good ones that are finished, not with the zombie hands. So I did the tuba, and I have this trumpet, and I have a trombone. Open the trombone. And so now I'm finishing up the series with the saxophone. So that's where we're at. I'm using it's a digital chunky oil pastel. And you can see up here. Chunky oil pastel. And I'm just going to borrow colors from here so the colors are the same. And it's just for so they match nice. Because I'm picturing them as either a grouping or I have a friend with his tile business. It might be like coasters or something. So do you do art, or are you just an art appreciator? Basically, right now I'm tracing over my very own drawing because I want it in the chalk. I want it outlined in the chalk, and this is black, so I'm gonna no digity. That's all right. I'm new to this. I don't really know what I'm doing, so join me on the adventure. I've only been doing this since January. Yeah, I have done graphite pencil drawing for the most part, and I wanted to get into some color because where we moved recently, well, we've been here a few years, but where we've moved recently, it's very beautiful, and I was kind of like inspired to do some, I don't like that. This is the best thing about digital right here. Alright, so I was inspired to do some, color because we have such beautiful nature around here. But then I didn't know if I'd like watercoloring or if I wanted to do acrylics, and I didn't want to spend a fortune on all the supplies if I didn't really know what I was doing. And so my husband, right, there's no eraser marks, right? So for Christmas, I got this digital tablet and it comes with this little stylus. It's all pressure sensitive and everything, and Corel Painter. So I am teaching myself through the manual and trial and error, and just kind of playing around with it, how to do digital art. So I'm not a pro with big pro tips, but if you're an interested person, there's some really good free programs out there. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's just kind of playing around with what I got. Oh, I want this color. Alright, I'm going to put some And then what I'll do, I'll show you, because this part of the saxophone is going to be silver. Because everything else is brass except for this little mouth guard thing, or clamp, or I don't even know anything about instruments, so I don't even know what that's called. I was inspired to do these because I was listening to jazz music with my husband one night, to be honest. Alright, so let me color this in. And the cool thing is these digital pastels, they act pretty much like real pastels. So they'll smear together and do their thing. And now right now, I don't know if I should be over it or under it. So here's this, and I'm going to add some color in, and I'll take this color, and these are just like the, like if a band's playing in a jazz club or something, and they have like the lights, and have some reflections of color in there. And then I come over to my little smeary thing. Right. And blend it in. That's all I'm doing. And I want to make sure I'm on the light setting for the silver. And that's how I do that. Hi. This is so cool. Thanks for inviting people. Glad you decided to stop in and say hi, keep me company. I don't like being here by myself. I spend a lot of time by myself here, so it's always nice to have somebody. Alright, I'm going to put a little yellow. Yeah. Little yellow because the brass, look at me yawning. I didn't go to sleep till almost 5 in the morning last night, and I was up this morning, and it was just like craziness going on here today. And yesterday. Yesterday was crazy too. I was like, oh. And about a half hour, people are going to be like, what's for dinner? And what? And I don't even want to talk about it. Alright, so now this is just black chalk. I'm just tracing over my pencil sketch I have. Oh, you have a crazy phone. What's it doing? I'm on a tablet, so I don't have any of the phone issues yet. I might have to buy myself a fancy phone. Everybody laughs when they see the phone I have. My phone, I could text on my phone. That's about it. It's a high tech for my phone. Alright. So I want some of this light orangey color. I'm just gonna oh. You know what? I think I'm so used to autocorrect doing weird words and things that I think I could read it. It's like another language to me, and I just read it without even thinking about it. I'm pretty good at figuring out what somebody was trying to type. Mine are always getting mixed up, and I'm always typing fast, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, now I know what you're saying. Oh, that's too dark. See, this I couldn't do this traditionally. Don't like that color. Go away. Yeah, that's a better color. And then a really light yellow for some highlight in there. And then once again, I'm going to steal some of my color and put it on the edges. Maybe up here. Maybe. And some of the white. And go to my favorite little magic tool, and I want some of that to blend it in, but I'm on the light, that's why. I don't want to be on the light color. I want to be on this color. See, that's the thing. I always forget. I'm still learning to remember to label my layers so I know what I'm working on. To make sure I'm working on the correct layer. And remembering to switch my tools and my colors, because alright, so now when I come up to the edge, I want to do this little like swirly, so it looks like it's going around it gives it that roundness to it. And then I just play with this until it does what I want it to do. And then I want the white. So I want it to be nice and white. I want a really nice white. So I'm going to tap that to get it in there and then spread it out. Let me zoom out to see where I'm at. And it's so hard to tell. I'm going to, because it reacts with the background color so much. When I don't have that background color, it's driving me crazy. So I'm going to add a background layer really quick. And I'm putting some kind of color back there because it's making me nuts. There we go. Okay. That'll be good for now. You can see how it looks really white for you. It's not that white. I don't know if I could get you a better angle where you can see the yellow. But it's pretty yellow. So if it looks white to you, it's not. It has like light yellows, and I don't know why it's looking that way. Okay. But you could see how the background color will make it pop a lot better than being like that. Well, you can see the colors. That's what happened. Those colors are still there. They pop more on the black, but digitally it kind of makes it a little brighter. So that's part of the reason you're having some issues, I think. But, oh, yeah. So I think I like having the color because I like having the relation, and see how I made it super light because I made it really light because I was against that white background, so I didn't use I was like staying away from some of these colors, and I wasn't understanding why I didn't like them. Didn't like them because they were on that light background. So then I was making all the other color choices light. Come here, well, helps if I'm on the right thing. I want a little bigger piece of chalk. Alright, so here we go. Give myself a little distance. And, So once again, I'm like, why is this not working right? Well, because you're not on the right layer. Duh. God. My brain is just not here today. That's my orange. It's like reddish color. Chewy. That's my dog barking to come in. He's being very impatient and impolite. He thinks he's the boss of everything. Okay, see, once again, it's going to do a little swirl at this end. And I want to smear the edges a little darker on the bottom side. Give it some shape. And do this swirl. I'm going to just, this is just basic color, and I'll come back and forth, and it won't be done for a little while. Let's see, and I slide it up and do a swirl there. Alright. Art is so exciting, isn't it? I find it interesting, I guess, because I'm always learning how to do it. Alright, I shouldn't say that because I'm supposed to say it's the most exciting thing. You should watch it all the time. I could add, well, that's a different layer. The background color is a different layer. I could put a real sheer layer over the whole thing to make all the colors underneath it be like toned a certain way as well. So I haven't played around with that part too much yet. Get these guys. Yes, you're still here. I love it. Thank you. I guess I'm just recently getting used to having like people who actually come on and talk to me. I used to scope for a while and there'd be like nobody here, and I didn't advertise this scope, so that's why nobody's here. I belong to a couple art groups, and usually I'll post and say, hey guys, I'm going to be scoping if you want, and then they usually show up, and I was like, oh, I don't have time for all that. I'm just going to go on there and do this, and they could find me later if they want. Because they were kind of invested in the other, I knew it wasn't right. They're kind of invested in the other instruments, so they were wanting to see what these ones were. This is the last one. All I did was, it's like, all I did, why is that not right? I don't know what this is doing. Okay. That takes that off. And that's the color. Alright. See, once again, I did not layer my stuff properly. And I'm paying for it because I didn't name them. Being lazy. I have to zoom in. This brush is too big to go this far. It's driving me nuts. I have the right paper, right? Alright. So once again, this is the best thing. Just erase it. If this is on a real sheet of paper right now, I'd be having one of those artist tantrums, and I'm not understanding why I'm getting white. This is my problem right now. Chunky. I'm on black. Why are you giving me white? Okay, there's a blue. Alright. Oh, lovely. Chunky pastel. Thank you. This is called Artist Problems. And it's not working out the way you want it. And you start screaming. One time I was doing a pencil dog portrait, and right on Periscope I had like a tantrum, and I threw my sketchbook across the room. It was not one of my prouder moments, just to be honest. I did. It was awful. It's awful. I was like, no. Alright, there we go. It's like my brush is still picking up. Oh yeah, well we definitely are, and most of my friends have dealt with it as well. We get very temperamental sometimes, and you're just like sensitive and all sorts of stuff that makes my logical business husband somewhat crazy, but at least he understands it. And I had a friend of mine, he's like this amazing airbrush artist, and he's working on a project for a gallery show or something. So he has some pressure because of that. And he's like, "Oh, I hate this." And I'm like, "Are you crazy? Did you not see what you're doing?" And he's like having a fit about it. I'm like, "You need to just step away for a little bit, and you'll see." And of course now it's really gorgeous, and it all works out. What I like, the digital's a little safety net, because if I don't like it, I don't have to redo the whole drawing. So it's a little cheat. No, he didn't throw it because it was a huge canvas. It was huge. But he was very upset. He was ready to like paint over the whole thing, and yeah, I was like, "Are you kidding me? You just spent like a week painting it. You can't just like toss it in the garbage and start over." Yeah, it's awful, right? Like, plan. And I told him, I said, and we all have it, and that's why I understood. It's like you have this vision in your head, and you have a vision of what it's supposed to look like. And then when it doesn't look that way, you get all like ticked off. Like, why is it not looking the way I wanted it to look? Okay. So this chalk setting has a little bit of variables to it, which is kind of nice. Put a little bit of color where the reflection would be. But the other people seeing it, they're not going to know what you saw in your head. And he's like, "Yeah, that's true." I'm like, "I know. Because it's the same thing you'd tell me." And he's like, "Yeah, that's true." But I've been trying not to get too caught in the details, but as you can tell, I'm always caught into the details. Because I let them bother me, and I'll pick at them. I'm just kind of working my way down this piece. Alright. It was so nice today. I don't know where you live, but I'm up in Michigan, and we finally have such a nice day today. I've had my window here open like almost the whole day. Get some nice fresh air. I've been loving it. Except for my dog wanting to go in and out every time he sees a squirrel. Oh yeah, see? You know what I'm talking about then. You have that one nice day and you're like, "Oh, I can have the window open and it's going to be beautiful." And I have my dog going, "Yeah, maybe not so much." And there's a squirrel in my yard. Okay. And so all day he's like in, out, in, out. He's making me crazy. I'm like, stop it. Dog. I love him and he's very cute, but he does sometimes just like make me insane. Alright, I want this like bright. Let's get these highlights and put some here. Oh, you can hear the geese flying by out there. Cheery for real. A little bit. I gotta let him in. I'll be right back. It's just literally a second over here. Come on! I'm trying to do something here. You're interfering with my process. Take the dog treat. Go lay down. It's like, what? And throw in some purple. And some pink. And this like orangey color I want. A little bit of that. And we'll see what this happens. What happens? There we go. Smear it. Smear it up. This is going to need some more darker tones in it. You can tell that right now. But we'll go back and do those. And then see, I can still see my drawing under here, so this will be all like, I'll come back and clean it up when I'm done. I don't worry too much about staying in the lines as I'm doing like the initial first smearing process. I'll just kind of smear it all over just to get the effect, and I'll come in and add stuff in later. And now I want to be on the darker color. So I'll bring some of the dark in. Make some of these elements pop out a little bit so they don't look like they're just flat and drawn on there. And that's what I'll be working on probably for the rest of tonight. And then I work tomorrow, guys, so let me back up really quick and we'll see where we're at. You can see it slowly coming along. And that's the process I'm working on right now. So that's where I'm at. I'm working on it. I'll be going through the details and we'll check in either later if I have time to finish it, or I'll probably be working on this Friday. So I'll see you guys then. As for now, I probably have to go and start making dinner before everybody that lives in my house, I guess, obviously starves to death. So I will catch you guys up and hopefully see you around in other people's scopes and things tonight. Thanks, guys.